Hey y'all, thanks for checking out Euclid Mining. So I was plugging in the T17, and when I plugged it in, it was a loud pop at the outlet, and both the Z11s turned off. The PDU shut down, and I freaked out. I thought I just blew out both Z11s and maybe that T17 as well, and my heart sunk I was just, I went over, I unplugged it, I looked at it, it's in the corner. I really couldn't see it that well, at first glance. Didn't look like there was any problems. Wasn't sure. Unplugged it, plugged it into the other outlet, the other 30 amp, and plugged in those other plugged the Z11s back into that, and it fired up. That T17, something happened. Now I haven't plugged it back in yet, and I'm going to put that in on a PDU all by itself. But man, later on, about 30 minutes later, I started to smell a little like plastic burning, and I was like, oh, what happened? It's got to be the PDU. Something messed up. So I shut it down. I unplugged it, and I looked at it. Well, I'm going to take you down there. Let's go take a peek and see the damage that's done. All right, y'all, we're down here in Crazy Town, and I just thought I'd show you the plug. Got it right over here. Yeah. That didn't do too good, and I don't know if you can see all the way back in here. I'm just going to kind of hold the camera back here and see if you can see it. Yeah, so there you have it. That 30 amp blew. Something happened. The PDU still works. When I have it plugged in, though, it's got that burning smell, kind of like plastic burning, and that's obviously because the plastic is burning. I had the two Z11s plugged in, and I went ahead and plugged in that T17, actually T17 over here, and all of a sudden it popped, it made a loud pop sound, and everything shut off. So, of course, I freaked out. I thought it blew out all the two Z11s and maybe that T17. I plugged them into the 20 amp PDUs just to test them, one in each one, and they work just fine. So everything's good with the miners, except the plug for that one definitely had a meltdown. So there you go. I'm going to have to go ahead and buy a new plug tomorrow and replace that. And I'm going to have to get a new outlet and replace that one. But lucky enough, I've got two 30 amps over there, and I'm going to be able to use the other one. So when I first started getting mining, I bought a couple PDUs, and I bought one of these big guys. I bought two of these guys, and then I realized how big they were, and I was like, okay, that's completely insane. So I just kind of stashed them away, and I thought, all right, well, if I ever needed them, I'd use them. I got those custom PDUs, and they've been working great. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Like I said, it was when I plugged in the T17, it popped. So I guess it was too much power spiked real quick. So that must have been it, because these two together take up about 3,000 watts, and that one should take about 3,000 watts or so. I think it's 3,000 watts for that one as well. So together it should work on that 30 amp, but it didn't like it. Something drew too much all of a sudden. Like I said, it popped. So that's where I am. So now I had to break this guy out and take him out of the box. So we're down here now. I'm going to hook this back up, because right now all I have are the L3 Pluses going right now. I don't have those two Z11s running, and I really want to get those back up and running. So I can put two L3 Pluses on each of those 20 amps. So that's 4, and as you can see, I got 4 right there. So that means I've got those 3 not running, those 3 L3 Pluses. Also, those 2 Z11s are not running. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and hook this PDU back up and put it into the second outlet, and try to get those 2 Z11s back up and running. Start making some money. So let me get that going. I'll be right back. All right, everything is hooked up. Everything is starting to turn back on. Slowly plugged each one in one at a time, so it wasn't a giant power surge. I'm always afraid of that. I don't know whether it's something I should be worried about. I just, I don't know tons about electricity, So I'm always nervous with it. So I plugged in one, I waited a minute, plugged in the second one, waited a minute, and then slowly plugged in the L3 pluses and the L3 plus pluses. So I've got 2 on the 20 amp, I've got 2 on the other 20 amp, and then I have the 2 Z11s and the 3 L3 pluses on the 30 amp right over here. Everything's going really well. I'm going to stick around down here for a couple minutes and just see if anything has any problems. But overall, I'm happy with it, and it looks like it's working. It is a little crazy over here now, and I got to do a little cable management tomorrow, but I just wanted to get everything up and running again. So let's go upstairs and see if we're getting any hash out of these machines, or if we're still having any problems. All right, these are ramping up. Everything looks pretty good. Everything came right online, no problems. I only have one problem, one issue really, and this is while they're just kind of starting up, so they're going through their tuning. This one I have lowered down a little bit. And here's my problem, is that this one I have to have it, let's see the configuration. I've got that at 650, and this one I have it 681. So as you can see, I have it underclocked a little bit. So this is the 681, and that's the, what I say, 650 on that one. So the point is that otherwise you can see these temps are just going straight up, 69 degrees already, and this is the one that's underclocked. So the one that's overclocked, 66 is the high number, and that's overclocked. So it'll sit right around there, low to mid 60s, and I'm okay with that. I try to keep my boards around 70. The PCB is the printed circuit board. Now the chip temp, of course, you don't want the chip to burn out, but the printed circuit board is the board itself. And if the board gets too hot, and you could fracture it, you could melt something off of it, burn something out, and then maybe the whole board is ruined. So it wouldn't matter if you lost a chip or two, your whole board is gone. So that means it's dead. In my opinion. So you don't want to get above 80. So in the 60s is where I like to keep it. 70 is really my comfort zone. 71, 72 is kind of like, all right, you know, that's it for me. Nothing above that. I'm looking for more of a long term. I don't want these things to burn out in a couple months. So like I said, mid 60s are my happy place. 70 is where, I'm not always as happy. But we can see that staying right in the 60s. If we go back to the other one that's underclocked and we take a peek at it, you can see I'm already at 74 and the other ones are at 70, and this is being underclocked, and that's because these fans right here, if you check them out, the first one I'm running at 5,700 RPM. This one I'm running at 4,300 RPM. That's what, like 1,400 RPM difference. So there's definitely something up with these fans. I've got an L3++ that's down, and I'm going to pop those fans off and look at them, see if they are a higher RPM. If they are, I'm going to swap them out, and hopefully that's going to make the difference. And I can only assume that clearly 1,400 RPMs would make a difference. So, hopefully if I get those new fans on there. Otherwise, I'm going to have to buy a couple on eBay or somewhere. They're anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks a piece. I really need to get a couple extra just so I have some backup for situations like this, or something else goes down. I don't have to wait to have them shipped out, and if it's down, you're losing money. So I'm probably going to order a couple, probably order like 4. But anyway, that's it. In the meantime, they are up and running. I'm going to go down there and swap those fans out today. I also got to get out to Home Depot and get a new plug outlet, a new plug and an outlet for the wall and for the PDU. I'm going to swap them out real quick. It's not a big deal. I'll take care of that, and hopefully I'll be up and running again. There's no permanent damage to anything. Everything seems like it's running. That PDU is running okay that I have out there now. And before, I'll be honest, before I even noticed that it had that burn on it, I did plug it into the other 30 amp and fired up those miners. It wasn't until I was out there for a little bit I started to still smell it. And that's when I looked at the plug and saw that it was melted, and that's when I was like, all right, well, that's plastic melting clearly. So that's when I finally unplugged it, probably another half an hour later. So I do know that the PDU is working, just in bad shape. So get that plug swapped, get that outlet swapped, get these fans swapped, and then I got to start working on some coolers. My wife is out of town. She went with my son to go visit some family. And while they're gone, I'm going to take that time to get those coolers done and try to get as much done out there as I can. So when she comes back, hopefully it'll put a sideways smile on her face if I'm lucky. Well, I got a lot of work to do today, so hit that subscribe button. It's right over there. If you want to watch any of my other videos, I'll have one right up over there. Give me some thumbs up because you know I got a lot of work to do today. Appreciate y'all checking in. I'll see y'all next time.